Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 19 of Black Canvas Grappling. And as you can tell, you should know what time it is. It is now time for the YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix. First of all, we do have the semi-final show, which is two-a-day number 15. So we're going to do, obviously, both events, being the semi-final event, two-a-day number 15, and then we're also going to get into the actual pay-per-view itself, the YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix. And we are going to be having a couple of title matches as well. Of course, the Challenger Series title will be on the line. And then we're also going to put the World Tag Team titles on the line as well. And I think it's going to be a pretty interesting two shows. So let's actually advance in to the semi-final show. And I just want to take a second to ask you guys for a favor. And that is, if you are a new viewer and you're not subscribed right now, while this is processing, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. A lot of you guys recently have been really quite impressive, to be fair. We've just hit 1,400 subscribers, and it's looking pretty positive. Gained a lot of subscribers since the drop of 2020, and I'm looking forward to the future. And of course, we do have a new series coming out very soon, and that is, of course, going to be a real-world mod. Some of you might be happy to see me finally do that. Others might be a little bit upset. Either way, it's going to be extremely interesting. The only thing holding that back is the mod itself isn't finished yet. So I'm still waiting for that to be released. Not exactly too sure how long that's going to take. But either way, we're going to be patient. We've got the TCW series happening over on Twitch. And then we've also got the BCG series here on YouTube. Also going to be posting a little bit of different content as well. If any of you guys are fans of like kind of like building to an extent, like city building, I'm going to be playing Transport Fever 2 as well, and releasing some videos with that over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, we've got a few protege mentor pass-ons here. We've got Furusawa passing on tips on using psychology to his new protege, Shuga Amano, who I think he got in the last episode. And then we also have him passing on tips on the microphone to his other protege, Koyo Kinoshita, who became his protege quite a few episodes ago. Either way, he's doing really well. Well, both of them are to an extent, but especially Kinoshita, he's had a lot of improves through, I guess, mainly through his psychology, but I guess now working on the microphone, starting to get up there as well. Anyway, we're going to go with a generic venue in Kansai for this one. And I think we should probably book our two matches first of all. Now, if you watch the last episode, you'll know exactly what our semi-finals are. It is going to be Furusawa taking on Funakoshi for our main event. It is obviously non-title match, Funakoshi being the world champion. But the title is not going to be on the line, and it's going to be an interesting match, to say the least. So, hopefully it'll be a bit of a surprise to some of you, and maybe to others it's not going to be too big of a surprise. But either way, I think both matches will be a bit of a surprise, actually, with some interesting winners. So the other match is going to be Bunrakuken Tori, and he's going to be taking on Razer Nakamoto. And, I mean, this match has the potential to actually be better than that main event. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. So I'm going to stick with Funakoshi and with Furusawa. But honestly, it could literally go either way. It literally could go either way. In regards to who's actually going to beat, well, which semi-final is going to beat the other one in terms of ratings. Obviously, for this one, it's kind of a good thing that we're actually not putting it as the main event. Very, very strange, very interesting, especially with the way the whole popularity works over every region, as opposed to just the one region you're running in. Very strange that some people are complaining and others are not. Anyway, with that said, we're going to have a tag team match. And this match will determine who will face our tag team champions in Yoshizawa and Miura. at the actual pay-per-view for the Grand Prix. So we're going to have the Cobras taking on... Actually, should we do the Cobras? I'm wondering if we should. Let's not do the Cobras. Let's have Team Taku take on Ipitsutai and Okamasa to determine the #1 contenders. I kind of prefer this match, actually. Now that I think about it, obviously we're gonna save the Cobras for a little bit later on because they did win Tag Mania, so they're gonna be getting their shot down the line as well. Okay, so there's our, well, essentially the match to determine our #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Up next, I think we'll just go with a few different assortments of different tag matches. So let's do a 6-man tag here. Let's have Big Bruiser Finlay, Animal Harker, and Giant Brodie. Of course, the import stable. We're going to get back into some stable action soon as well. And they can take on Uragataya, Naozane Goto, and let's go with... let's go with Matsuzawa. Yeah, there we go. And I guess the winner for this one can be our boy, Big Bruiser Finlay. He did have a relatively successful campaign throughout the Grand Prix, or the group stage of the Grand Prix. Obviously, didn't exactly do enough to get into the semi-finals here. Then going to go with another tag team match. Let's have Kamisaka and Kiyotaka, and they're going to take on Mitsukiri and Kinoshita. Let's give the victory to Kamisaka. I mean, he literally hasn't had a victory in 7 shows. He did finish on 0 points in Group A, so feel a little bit bad for him. But like I said, I'm still very impressed by him, so this tag team should do pretty well, especially going into the future, Kamisaka and Kiyotaka. And I guess we'll go... How much time do we have left? I think we might leave it at that. We'll do a pre-show match or 2, but we do want some angles, so let's go with a 6-minute angle for Mabuchi Furusawa. I think we can do unscripted for him. I might give him 8 minutes as well. So he'll have the final angle in the show. Then I think I want to give Razer Nakamoto an angle for himself as well. And we'll put that one before his semi-final match. So then we can go straight into both semi-finals. What else have we got? I guess we can't really do any more angles. Actually, we can. Let's do our usual sort of match introduction angle by YOSHIFUSA MAEDA. And he will introduce, obviously, Razer Nakamoto, Bunraku Kantori, Mabuchi Furusawa, and then Funakoshi. There we go. Perfect. All right. So that'll start the show off. We also need a Steal the Show match, which I guess could be this one. Let's lower it down to 10 minutes and then go Steal the Show. And then I guess, wondering if we can make this our technical masterclass. Hold on. Let me have a look. Let's have a look at these boys here. 32 technicals, pretty bad. And I think he's actually got worse. Yeah, he's got 13. Okay. Well, what we could do is do the technical masterclass on the pre-show. Okay, so let's use Sotomura and Ozawa, and then they can take on... I guess they can take on the American Cobras, actually. We'll give that 16 minutes. Hopefully Ozawa can go for that long. So we'll give the victory to think we'll give it to Marvel, actually, because I think Marvel took a loss on one of those other matches. On his last match, I think, in Group B. So, yeah, there we go. Technical Masterclass. Needs to be on the pre-show. Actually, does it need to be on the pre-show? It doesn't. Okay. Well, there we go. I just messed up the matches. Okay, nice. That goes there. This one goes down. All right. That looks pretty good, actually. But the fans are expecting a show with... I think we might actually need to add another match in. Because we do have the 3 angles here. I wonder if I lowered this angle. Would that make a difference? And I accidentally got rid of Furusawa there. Okay, that actually got rid of it. So I guess we'll keep it as 6 minutes. All right, perfect. And I guess we'll do one more. Well, we didn't actually do a pre-show match in the end. So let's go with our young lions. So James Diaz, Takanori Doi, and Shuga Amano, and they can take on Iki Hisaka, and I guess he can be partnered up with Agata and Kisaka. Just a literal full match of young lions here. And we'll give the victory to... We'll give it to Shuga Amano. Like I said, he just picked up that that mentor in Furusawa, which is really going to help him out over the coming year. So, chuck that one on the pre-show. There we go. And let's run the semi-final show, our last tour show leading into the Grand Prix. Alright, so obviously the pre-show match, not too good. Only getting a 35, where we have... Did I not make... Oh, I made Shuga Amano. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, James Diaz, Takanori Doi, and Shuga Amano defeating Iki Hisaka and Agata and Kisaka in 11:33 when Shuga Amano pinned Iki Hisaka with a roaring elbow. And yeah, Yutaka Agata was really off his game. Alright, so we then start the show off with a 70 rated angle from YOSHIFUSA MAEDA. And he basically just introduces the 2 semi-final matches. Of course, Okamoto taking on Tori, and then we have Furusawa taking on Funakoshi. And of course, we have the winner of Group A taking on the the runner-up of Group B, and the winner of Group B taking on the runner-up of Group A. Yeah, 70 is about what we expect from our boy YOSHIFUSA, which is essentially our playable character. Our user character. Anyway, our first match on the card getting us a 59 here, where we have the American Cobras defeating Sotomura and Izawa in 16:24 when Marvel Malloy pinned Sofu Izawa with a Cobra Strike. And yeah, Storm Spillane head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Nice. 70 in-ring performance from Storm. Wow. And obviously the match was a little too short, as these guys are... I think they're stars now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they have like 50 popularity in Kansai, which is crazy, although they pretty much picked most of that up during Tag Mania. The next match on the card gets us a 52, where we have Kamisaka and Kiyotaka defeating Mitsukuri and Kinoshita in just under 12 minutes, when Kanonamaru Kamisaka in Koyo Kinoshita with a stump pile driver. And unfortunately, Kiyotaka seemed off his game. Essentially been in a tag team match with his regular tag team partner. Again. The next match, I think this one, yeah, this was our Steal the Show match, getting a 53, where we have Import defeating Masashi Irigataya, Naozen Goto, and Yoshizada Matsuzawa in 10:26 when Big Bruiser Finley pinned Irigataya with an Atomic Spinebuster. I think we might do that match at the at the pay-per-view itself. A singles match between Urugatiya and Finlay. Could be pretty cool. Alright, we then go into our number 1 contenders match for the tag titles, getting a 53 as well. So we're getting some pretty, solid ratings. I guess they're kind of average, but at least they're consistent throughout the show so far. And we have Ipitsutsai and Okamasa defeating Team Taku in 11:40 when Shiruku Okamasa pinned Yoshinaka Taku with a Scorpion Deathlock. And we have Ipitsutsai and Okamasa becoming our number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. So let's get that match booked in here. I think we'll try and give it. I think we'll give it 16. If we're being honest, I don't really know if Ipitsutsai kind of deserves a match to be over 16 minutes. But they're going to be taking on the champions in Miura and Yoshizawa. So there we go. With the World Tag Team titles on the line. And as you'd expect, our champions are going to retain their titles. Pretty much just because they're a lot better. And I really want to save that match between the American Cobras and Miura and Yoshizawa for the Lions Raw, our end of season finale. But yeah, still a relatively good match. We've got 2 kind of senior citizens in this one, being Ipitsutsai and Toshinobu. Alright, so we then go into a 63 rated angle with our boy Razer Nakamoto, of course the winner of Group A. 63, that's actually better than he's been doing recently, so I'm kind of happy with that. And our first semi-final gets us a 72, where we have Razer Nakamoto defeating Bunraku Kentori in just over 20 minutes by pinfall with a brainbuster suplex. And yeah, obviously looking at the in-ring performances, one stands out and the other one doesn't. And unfortunately for Tori, he is the one that did stand out, but he did lose the match. So Okamoto will be facing whoever wins our next semi-final. That match gets an 81. That's really nice to see. Very, very happy with that. And we have Mabuchi Furusawa defeating Funakoshi in 2010 by submission with a Furusawa armbar. Really nice stuff there. That's a solid match. I think our highest was an 82. And it might have actually been, was it between these two guys? It might have been. I can't remember. Actually, I think it was, wasn't it Suki? I think it was Suki and someone else. I can't remember. Either way, it was a few episodes ago. But yeah, Furusawa with a 75 in-ring performance. So that means our final for the Grand Prix. I won't pre-book it in. We'll book it straight up once the event starts. And it's going to be Furusawa taking on Razer Nakamoto. And finally, our last angle on the show, getting us a 76 when we have Mabuchi Furusawa. And he says that he is going to win the whole thing and get another opportunity for himself at the Lions Raw to win the BCG World Heavyweight title. Alright, let's finish the show. We get a 75, which is obviously a lot higher. I think we got 2 69s in the last episode for both of our final shows. So 75 is definitely up there. Still not enough. Still not enough to get a popularity increase in Kansai, which I can't believe. It's literally 20 points above our popularity, which is a 55. Anyway, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's got a lot to do with the wrestling industry. Or at least that's kind of what I'm banking on at this point. I don't know for certain, but I'm hoping that's kind of what it is. Anyway, I want to have a look at a few things here. I want to have a look at Razer Nakamoto. So his popularity looks like it's stuck at 63. I'm kind of just wondering why he's not performing better in the ring. It might have something to do with his physical health. because we essentially rushed him right back into the tournament. I'm assuming that's what it is. Because let me have a look at Furusawa for a second. Let's have a look at Bunraku Tori, actually. Because that would kind of be a better... I mean, his physical health is essentially just as bad, if not worse, than Okamoto. Which is strange. He is better in the ring to an extent. But that's very strange. That Okamoto is more popular and is also essentially the same in regards to their skills. But Tori was getting 75 in-ring performances and Okamoto's only getting a 60. Like I said, that's strange. That is a strange one. And I guess finally, I want to have a look at Funakoshi. So his popularity is still 58, which is great. Okay. I guess finally, Furusawa, before we start booking our Grand Prix pay-per-view show. Where is he? Mabuchi Furusawa. Alright, so he's still on 58 popularity as well. So it looks like he's capped at that level. He's definitely our best in-ring talent. Without a doubt. Anyway. Let's advance. Let's get into the final show for this whole tour. Being the YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to booking this one. The whole tournament is leading up to this main event. And it's going to be a special one. Hopefully, it'll get an 83 or above. I don't think it will, which is unfortunate, but I'm hoping, praying, I guess for a bit of a miracle, just so it's, it makes it a little bit more special is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we're going to go on to Shogun TV, of course. We've got a backstage incident, and that is wrestlers caught there for Kiyotaka. And we've got a small positive impact as well. Now, we're expecting 5,400 fans, so I think what I want to do is just go into the Osaka Athletic Center, which I think it was already booked in there for, so that's fine. Alright, let's book. So, pre-booking, let's add that pre-booking match that was already there. So add that to our booking sheet. Alright, so there's our tag match. Now I guess we'll book the main event. Obviously. Now I guess the kind of question would be, how long do I make the match? Because I could easily make it 30 minutes, but is that going to affect the match rating? Or would I be better off just going for a 20-minute match? I don't know. I feel like match times are very strange so far. I've kind of not figured out yet what is the best length, and if we should be using like epic or spectacle for certain matches. Obviously this one, in theory, if we went for 30 minutes, it would probably be a spectacle. Yeah, I mean, it has a lot to do with the psychology. I think let's go with a spectacle. Let's try it out. I mean, obviously it's not a great place to sort of gamble with it possibly coming off, but I think at this point we kind of need to. And I think I'm going to do this. So that's going to be a spectacle. Now, what we need to do before that match is to have a calm the crowd. And then I guess we want to have an angle just after that match. So, with that said, let's do a tag team match. Let's have Yokikawa and Sen. And I think they can take on Kamisaka and Kiyotaka. And we could maybe do that as a calm the crowd match. I think that could be relatively good. So I want to give Sujuru Sen the victory, and then we'll make Kiyotaka the loser. Obviously, want to protect our boy Kamisaka just a little bit. I think it will have to be scripted as well. It doesn't need to be slow built though. We also need to make it the calm the crowd. Okay. So that'll go in there just before our main event. I guess we can give. Let's give Razer Nakamoto an angle prior to the main event itself. Like that. We'll do another angle for Furusawa as well. Do I want to script him? I probably don't want to script him if I'm being honest, so we'll leave that one there. We then want a fatal four-way match for the Challenger Series title. And this one's going to be pretty interesting. So what's going to happen here? We're going to have James Diaz, and he's going to be stepping up to the main pay-per-view, the main card, even though he is still technically a young lion. Obviously, a lot of you guys have been pretty impressed with him. So we're going to give him an opportunity. And of course, he's going to be taking on the champion Naozane Goto. We're then also going to have Giant Brodie, who was very impressive towards the end of the Grand Prix group stage. And finally, I guess we can kind of throw anyone in here. Who kind of makes sense? I guess Matsuzawa kind of makes sense. And then at the same time, I guess we'll go with Sotomura. Sotomura is a really good hand. So we'll just throw him in there. He can do a really good job. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting outcome to this match as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Drop that down, move that up. That needs to go up one more. We also need our technical masterclass and our Steal the Show match. So the Steal the Show match is going to be Big Bruiser Finlay taking on Masashi Uragataya, which I also think should be a pretty good match on paper. I think it will get penalized for length. I'm not going to make it 20 minutes. I just realized, obviously, Steal the Show. Actually, can Steal the Show be longer? Maybe it can. Let me check that. So I'll do slow build for now, but let me go back in. Let's have a look. Steal the Show. Yeah, I mean, essentially, probably let's try it. I want to try it anyway. I don't think I've ever actually done a 20-minute Steal the Show match. So that'll go there. We then also need our technical masterclass match. So I guess we can just maybe go with let's use both of them. Let's do a tag match. And let's have Agata and Kisaka. Are they any good? 38 and 30. That's pretty bad. I mean, Shadow Ichimori is actually pretty good in the ring. I didn't realize. Yeah. Okay, let's go with Team Taku. So Team Taku can take on Shining Force. We'll give this one 20 minutes if we can. Actually, yeah, 20 minutes. And then we're going to give Bruno Kukantori a victory there. We'll actually make the loser Toshinobu. I don't really want Yoshinaka losing anymore, to be honest. So we'll have to script that one. Slow build, decisive as well. Okay. That looks like a pretty solid card. Obviously, we're kind of leaving out a few people. But that's fine. So that'll be our first match on the card. I guess we could have YOSHIFUSA Maeda Doing one more angle if we can. I'm assuming we can fit it. So let's have him cut another angle onto our 2 semi-final winners for 6 minutes, and that'll of course begin our show. What is our problem? Alright, so Ipit's suit size is being used too much. So I guess we're going to have to lower that and then take that out as well. I thought this might be a problem. Alright, he's only being slightly overused. I think that's fine. I mean, I suppose I could just reduce it by 2 more minutes. Get rid of the 1 minute maybe. That might do it actually. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it's only 13 minutes, but it doesn't really matter too much. Okay. And then we also have Technical Masterclass. Good thing I checked that, otherwise we would have forgotten once again. Okay, there we go. So as far as the pre-show goes, I just want to use Funakoshi in a match, otherwise he's going to be pretty upset. So I guess we'll have Funakoshi take on Blaster Coma, and he can be partnered up by his stable mates in Agata and Kisaka. And then I guess we could maybe have the Cobras in there as well with Funakoshi. And it can just be 12 minutes. It really doesn't matter too much. And we'll give Funakoshi the victory. It looks like a pretty good pre-show match, if I'm being honest. But it is giving us a penalty with referee Tawaraya. Yeah, anyway. Okay, there we go. Let's run the YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix with hopefully our best ever match in the main event. Hopefully. Anyway, we started with a 60 rated match on the pre-show. We have Funakoshi and the American Cobras defeating Explosive, consisting of Blast, Agata, and Kisaka. In just under 11 minutes, with Funakoshi pinning Yataka Agata with a butterfly backbreaker. And yeah, Funakoshi head and shoulders above everybody else in the match, as you would expect. And yeah, just a really solid pre-show match. Funakoshi with a 79. That's really good. Really good. We then go into a 68 rated angle with YOSHIFUSA MAEDA announcing tonight's final and putting over Okamoto and Furusawa. Alright, we then get into our first tag team match, getting a 64 rating. That's a very solid technical masterclass. Where we have Shining Force defeating Team Taku in 1935 when Bunraku Kantori pinned Toshinobu Taku with a spinning forearm smash. And obviously Toshinobu being the weak link, only getting a 33 in-ring performance there. Alright, we then move into our World Tag Team title match, getting a 60, where we have Miura and Yoshizawa defeating Upitsutsai and Okamasa in 1307, when Inajiro Yoshizawa pinned Shiruku Okamasa with the End of the World, and Miura and Yoshizawa make defense number 5 of the BCG World Tag Team titles. That's, yeah, defense number 5. It's getting up there. They have had a relatively decent run so far since we started the series. Also worth mentioning, we did actually sell out the Osaka Athletic Center. Athletic Stadium, sorry. Alright, moving on to a 56 rated Fatal 4-Way match, where we have Giant Brodie defeating James Diaz, Naozane Goto, and Roku Sotomura in 11:39 when Giant Brodie pinned James Diaz with a single-handed chokeslam, and Giant Brodie wins the BCG Challengers Series title. Yeah, Giant Brodie. He's been dominant. He's definitely been dominant. Getting, I think he finished on 6 points in Group B, if I remember. Yeah, I think he was in Group B. So that was a pretty good tournament for him. Anyway, moving on to a 71 rated match. Pretty interesting. This was our Steal the Show, so it did well. We have Big Bruiser Finlay defeating Masashi Urigataya in 1937 by pinfall, with an atomic spinebuster. And yeah, pretty similar in-ring performances. They actually definitely did quite well, considering they got a 61 and a 63, and the overall match was a 71. So yeah, definitely did well. And Big Bruiser Finley was also visibly tiring, as it was a 20-minute match that was all out with a slow build, which I don't really know how that works. Road Agent notes. Oh, okay, never mind. So it actually gets rid of the slow build. Okay. Interesting. Or maybe I just didn't put it in. I can't remember. I think I did. Alright, we then move into our cooldown match, which gets a 54, and we have Yoshikawa and Sen defeating Kamisaka and Kiyotaka in 12:07, when Sujuru Sen submitted Kiyotaka with an over-the-shoulder backbreaker. And yeah, as planned, the match brought the fans back down a little bit. Still a relative, yeah, it's a yeah. I just, messed up my words, but it was a relatively good match. We got a 50 there for Sujuru, a 48, which is surprising for Yoshikawa, considering his age. We then had a 49 for Kiyotaka, and a 52 there in ring for Kamisaka. Not too bad. Alright, we then go into a 59 rated angle, where we have Razer Nakamoto, essentially saying that he is going to become the winner. Well, he's going to win the Grand Prix here tonight. And of course, the final is up next. It is a spectacle. Please be good. Okay, I mean, it's pretty good. It's not as good as I kind of thought it would be, but it's up there. It's still decent enough. It's good. I'm pleased. Kind of. Anyway, we've got Mabuchi Furusawa defeating Razer Nakamoto in 30 minutes and 10 seconds by submission with a Furusawa armbar. And Mabuchi Furusawa wins the BCG YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix with an 85 in-ring performance. 85. And as you can see, the match deserved better color commentary. Very interesting match. But an 85. Anyway, yeah, so Furusawa wins the YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix and will be challenging whoever is the world champion come the Lions Roar. And of course, he finishes off with an 82 rated angle where he talks to the fans, celebrates with them a little bit, and says that he is going to become the world champion at the Lions Roar. Yeah. As you can see, we've got a couple of penalties here for the announcing and for the color commentary again. So essentially, this would have been a lot better had we had better announcers, or a better announcing team overall, I think. Alright, so we finish the show, we get a 76, thank the Lord. And we have the popularity increase in Kansai. I'm assuming probably because we were, 21 points above whatever our popularity is currently. So 55 to a 76. And we do get that popularity increase. So I want to praise Big Bruiser Finley. I want to praise Razer Nakamoto. I forgot to do any meddling this episode. But it really doesn't matter anyway, because nothing good ever happens when I do that. And finally, I guess we'll go with Furusawa for that impressive 85 in-ring performance. I mean, it was also good to see Okamoto get a 67, because that's obviously a lot better than he's been doing recently, so hopefully he'll be back on the rise. I really just don't understand why he's been so bad. Anyway, the YOSHIFUSA MAEDA Grand Prix 2020 was shown last night on TV and got a 0.07 TV rating with 52,500 viewers. So that's pretty good. It's definitely a lot higher. I think our last event, or pay-per-view, if you will, I think it got a 0.04. So we're definitely improving. And I'm very happy with that. Anyway, We're into May, and we made 172,000 last month, which is quite a bit, as you can see. It's like an extra about 50k than we made the month prior. And our next tour is literally 1 day away, the Champions Tour, which is very interesting. Anyway, I want to check some popularity. His popularity doesn't matter. The ones I want to check. Okay, so Razer Nakamoto, his popularity has dropped down. Has it? I could have sworn Okamoto had a... Wasn't he on 63 popularity? I'm pretty sure he was on 63 popularity. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty... Whoa, okay. Alright, I think we know who got the popularity. Mabuchi Furusawa is now up to a 64 in Kansai, and solid 40s across the rest of the regions there. So he gained 6 points of popularity just from that one match. And obviously, our boy Okamoto, I think, lost about 5 points. So, I mean, it works. It works. Obviously, I'm a little bit worried about losing Furusawa to Burning Hammer or Pride Glory, because that could happen. He doesn't have any sort of loyalty with us. Either way, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. Anyway, we need to try and get Funakoshi back up to a solid over 60 rating. That'll kind of be our next goal. And of course, our next world title match is going to be Funakoshi and I think Bunrakuken Tori. I think that's our next one, because Tori did pick up a victory. Did he? Or was it Okamoto? I think it was Okamoto. I can go back and check. It definitely was Okamoto, because they are actually in the same group. Don't know why I said Tori. But it was back here somewhere. I think it was here. No, this one. Yeah, as you can see, Okamoto defeating Funakoshi in the tournament, the Grand Prix group stage. So with that victory, he's going to pick up, well, he's essentially made himself the #1 contender for the Champions Tour for our Champions event. Which I am looking forward to. The Champions... Test of Champions, that's what it's called. Yeah. So it's going to be Okamoto taking on Funakoshi. I'm looking forward to that match as well. Obviously, it's going to be a rematch, and it has to do better, because I think they only got a 74 in that match during the Grand Prix. And I think it was because Okamoto was really off his game. Anyway, that is going to wrap up the episode, guys. If you could smash the like button, it'd be much appreciated. Remember to be subscribed with the notification bell turned on. Like I said, you guys have been smashing it recently, and we're over 1,400 subs. 1,500, not too far away. Let's try and get there as fast as possible, guys. Apart from that, as always, take it easy, and goodbye.